Hello, my name is Greg Crabb. I'm the founder of 108 Cyber. I'm a strategic advisor for Venafi and provide consulting and advisory services to a vast array of organizations. The last 6 years of my federal career were as the Chief Information Security Officer of the U.S. Postal Service. The weakness that Brian Krebs found was an application program interface that allowed users to access the database of the Postal Service for business and mail tracking data. It was much better to learn about your vulnerabilities from a security researcher like Brian Krebs than in a real incident. Briefly, in late November of 2018, Brian Krebs called the Postal Service and shared details of a business logic flaw on one of the Postal Service's externally facing websites. I was grateful to have the information and to be able to take immediate action. The first action I took was to exercise our incident response plan. This plan had been widely practiced in the organization, and each stakeholder knew their role. The plan included response scripts for a variety of functional areas, including technical remediation, investigative response, business impact management, and public communications. The CIO and her team knew their role in immediately remediating the condition. The flaw was fixed within hours of its identification. My investigative resources were awesome too. Within a day or two, my threat intelligence team had sourced all the data that had been accessed. Soon, federal law enforcement officers knocked on the doors to the researchers that disclosed the vulnerability to Brian Krebs. We had strong assurance that no one had accessed the information in a malicious manner. We exercised our organizational capabilities to understand business impacts, assess risk, and consider legal consequences. Critically, we notified the executive leadership team and board throughout the entire process. We had strong communication to assure a complete remediation and delivered a public statement. As a security leader, you can never let a crisis go to waste. The discovery of the vulnerability was a great reminder of the challenges business logic flaws can create in the application development process. First, I led my organization in evaluating wherever the particular API had been implemented on our externally facing applications. We were able to identify other flaws in its implementation as well. Then we kept expanding the scope of the examination to other APIs and other applications until we'd modeled flaws in the most susceptible externally facing applications. We used the Open Web Application Security Project, or OWASP, Top 10 Web Application Security Risks, and the threat modeling process as the basis for our examination and reporting process. OWASP is a nonprofit foundation focused on improving the security of software. With a strong characterization of the threats and risks based on the OWASP model, I led improvements in our secure development lifecycle. For example, we drove secure coding awareness and training to our development teams with a particular focus on those OWASP risks most prevalent in the environment. Additionally, we installed a variety of checks throughout the development and code promotion process. We developed application certification levels to assure our most critical and sensitive applications were properly secured. Following the initial OWASP focus, we continued to expand the services supporting the secure development cycle. We increased our internal and external pen testing. We rolled out HackerOne as a service across our entire suite of business applications, invested in better automated scanning tools, and most importantly, we invested in our development teams and my risk management professionals with training. As a result of all of these actions, we collectively identified a significant number of vulnerabilities. My risk team would score each vulnerability and prioritize them based on severity. We implemented a scoreboard that we regularly reviewed with the CIO and her development teams to make sure progress was tracked to the required remediation timelines. The development teams were held accountable to these expected timelines. I know how difficult it is to implement new software security measures across multiple dev teams and software providers because I supported over 50 externally facing applications. I know organizations struggle to manage the secure development lifecycle. The best way to overcome these issues is through process discipline in that secure development lifecycle. I'm guiding my clients in one, analyzing existing incident reports, automating testing deficiencies, pen test results, and other code analysis reporting. 2, deconstructing their application development lifecycle. 3, determining and ranking the threats to their organizations. And 4, implement countermeasures or other risk management strategies. I see these actions as a great area of opportunity for most organizations. No incident is going to exercise the full capabilities of your organization's processes. Security events over the last several years, including Log4j, SolarWinds, and others, have demonstrated the need for more robust software security controls. The security community needs to continue to identify practices and come together to identify solutions. I feel the open source project that Venafi has participated in, the blueprint for building modern, secure software development pipelines, is an excellent resource artifact for organizations to reference relative to secure coding practices. In today's threat landscape, code signing is a required control to assure integrity and accountability. Just about every organization depends on software from hundreds of providers and needs strong traceability back to its source. Software bills of material, strong machine identity management for every virtual instance, and other controls define today's modern, secure development lifecycle. Simply stated, Venafi's machine identity management and blueprint for building modern, secure software development pipelines allow organizations to achieve zero trust in the development process.
Still have questions? Turn to Venafi, the machine identity experts. Check out our channel or visit venafi.com to learn about all things encryption, certificate management, and more.